From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, September 4th, 2025. I'm Hadaska Sorla. Fintech foils bank heist. Cybercriminals attempted to steal $130 million by breaching Sinqia SA, the Brazilian arm of fintech firm Evertech, during a short-lived cyber attack on Brazil's Pix real-time payment system. The breach was detected on August 29th when stolen credentials from an IT vendor were used to try unauthorized business-to-business transfers. Sinqia immediately halted Pix transactions and brought in cybersecurity forensic teams. Part of the stolen funds have already been recovered, and Sinqia's access to Pix has been revoked by regulators. No customer data appears affected, but the full financial and reputational impact is still under review. NotDoor, backdoor. Security researchers say Russia's state-backed hacking group APT28 has rolled out a new tool called NotDoor that lets them secretly spy through Microsoft Outlook. The malware first has to be planted on a victim's computer, but instead of running constantly, it sits dormant until it sees a special trigger email with a keyword like daily report. That message silently activates the backdoor, which then steals data, runs commands, and erases its tracks. Analysts say APT28 uses this trick because it makes the malware stealthier, easier to control, and harder to detect than a backdoor that's always open. They called it NotDoor because of the use of the word nothing in the code, and not because it's not a door, because it's totally a door, a backdoor. Salesloft-Drift impact continues drifting. The body count from the Salesforce Salesloft-Drift supply chain breach keeps rising. Cloudflare has now confirmed attackers accessed its Salesforce support cases and extracted 104 API tokens, all since rotated. Palo Alto Networks has disclosed it was also affected alongside Zscaler after stolen OAuth tokens from Drift were used to break into Salesforce instances between August 8th and 18th. With 3 major security firms already on the roster, investigators warn more names could surface as the full extent of the compromise comes into focus. This is why we can't have nice things. Hexstrike AI, an AI-driven offensive security framework meant for red teaming, has been leveraged by threat actors to exploit newly disclosed vulnerabilities at high speed, sometimes within 10 minutes. By orchestrating more than 150 security tools through AI agents, it scans, crafts, and delivers exploits on its own. The built-in retry logic allows exploit attempts to continue until successful, massively improving attacker success rates. Threat actors are also using the tool to flag vulnerable systems for resale to other criminals. The tool has already been used to exploit Citrix NetScaler 0 days and N-days. Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO. A bear, a kraken, and a yeti walk into a breach. The U.S. State Department has announced a reward of up to $10 million for information on 3 Russian intelligence officers accused of hacking U.S. critical infrastructure. The operatives, Tyokov, Gavrilov, and Akulov, are all part of the FSB's Center 16, who are also tracked as Berserk Bear, Blue Kraken, Crouching Yeti, Dragonfly, and Koala Team. Between 2012 and 2017, they allegedly carried out attacks on the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, Wolf Creek Nuclear Operating Corporation, and hundreds of foreign energy companies across 135 countries. More recently, the group has been linked to exploiting Cisco router flaws against U.S. networks. Tips can be submitted anonymously through the Rewards for Justice Tor channel. Phishing diplomats. An Iranian state-sponsored group known as Homeland Justice has carried out a global phishing blitz against embassies, consulates, and international organizations across Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Americas. Using over 100 hijacked email accounts, including one from Oman's foreign ministry in Paris, they sent fake Word documents that lured officials into enabling malicious macros. Once triggered, the malware installed itself to stay persistent, phone home to a command server, and collect system data. Security researchers say the operation is espionage, not crime for profit, and attribute it to Iran's Ministry of Intelligence. Spies worldwide may have to delay their travel. Law enforcement in the U.S. and Netherlands have seized VerifTools, an online marketplace that sold counterfeit driver's license, passports, and bank documents for as little as $9 to help criminals dodge Know Your Customer checks. Investigators say the site raked in $6.4 million since 2022 before the FBI and Dutch police pulled down its domains and more than 24 servers. But, in a twist that feels on brand, the operators have already relaunched the service under a new domain, giving the fake identity ring a fresh identity of their own. 120 Android security flaws updated. Google's September 2025 Android update fixes a whopping 120 vulnerabilities, including 2 zero-day flaws that are already being used in targeted attacks. One affects the Android kernel and could grant full device control, while the other hits the Android runtime and lets attackers escalate privileges, both requiring no user action. The updates are being rolled out in 2 stages, giving device makers flexibility in deploying fixes across different hardware. Google urges users and partners to apply the latest patch levels without delay. We have a hard enough time managing the flow and security of data with humans. How are we supposed to address the speed and scale of data flows as we operationalize agentic AI? That's what we are trying to answer on this week's episode of Defense in Depth. Look for the episode, How Are You Managing the Flow of AI Data, wherever you get your podcasts. If you have some thoughts on the news from today or about the show in general, be sure to reach out to us at feedback@cisoseries.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Hadass Kasorla, reporting for the CISO series. Stay alert, stay patched, stay hydrated.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to cisoseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.